Ladies and gentlemen, an important part of this series is the traditional exchange of gifts and the introduction of the boxers. At 106 pounds, from the USSR, Alexander of the USSR. At 125 pounds, Ibret. Now for the first match of the night, at 106 pounds, from the Soviet Union, Alexander Kesilov. 50th anniversary celebration of the boxing exchange program between the United States and the Soviet Union. Initiated in 1969, this is the longest running uninterrupted sports exchange program between the two countries.
Yes. Yes. All right. All right. That's 2-1.
And now the second match of the night. Weighing in at 165 pounds, Andrei Kesilov of Moscow. And representing the United States, Ronald Sims of the United States Air Force, San Antonio.
The bell sounds for the middleweights, 165-pounders representing the United States in the solid blue. With the Air Force in San Antonio is Ronald Sims, hometown Washington, D.C. Andrei Kesilov from Moscow, a 19-year-old fighter, will be his opponent tonight. And this could be a very exciting fight. 5'11" for Sims, and a solid fighter, fighting only since 1985, though. And Kesilov only at 19, the 88 European junior champion. A stylish-looking fighter here, man.
Very stylish-looking fighter. He won in Atlantic City this past weekend over Melvin Foster on a 3-0 decision. He's a very experienced boxer. I believe he has more experience than Sims, and we're going to see some good boxing out of him, I'm sure.
Sims, a very experienced man. Armed Forces 3 times. Finished third all 3 times in the Armed Forces fighting. And he gets a good clubbing right hand in on top of Kesilov and goes right back in to try to throw the combination.
That is very gratifying to see. Sims knows that he can jump in and move in on Kesilov early. That little burst of confidence right there is going to go a long way in carrying Sims in this particular bout.
You know, there was a lot of stern faces during the opening ceremonies. None more stern than Ronald Sims. He really came to go to work tonight here in Orlando, and he started right off in the first round. And you've seen with that combination backing the Soviet fighter into the ring.
Just a real fine combination by Ron Sims. He seems to be comfortable up there. He seems to be in control. He seems to be moving very well, too. I was a little concerned about his ability to move around that ring. But he's doing real well, working his hands and feet together.
Darenik Gabrian is the referee, the Soviet ref in the ring. And again, Sims with an extremely solid first round here tonight to start his fight. Middleweights at 165. Sims, by the way, at 25, and only 19 for the Soviet fighter. He has weathered the storm well, the Soviet, as Sims now comes back with a good right hand. Caught him on the right ear.
Now, Sims may be 6 years older, but there's a chronological maturity involved in there. Just because he's older, that doesn't mean he's necessarily the better boxer. However, I am impressed with the way he's kept his poise in this bout.
International Golden Gloves. Got to the quarterfinals, losing to Jerry Lee Williams. So again, he's getting a lot of nice competition and international competition. But of course, the armed services and fighting around the country now for the United States.
Sims was runner-up in our national championships. Ray Latham stopped him with referee stopping the contest due to blows to the head in round 3 of our national championship. That in itself is a very fine credential.
He has been able to throw and land that right hand with great success. As he throws it there, just missed. He grimaces as he thought he had it. Now does a little hot dogging here, and the Soviet comes in to try to throw a couple of punches of his own.
Starts to lose his balance. That's something he's got to work real hard to keep those feet under him. And a good right hand by Ronald Sims.
Closing seconds of round one. What looks like is going to be a very good fight tonight at SeaWorld as the USA fights against the USSR.
A pleasant surprise. I got it. There we have a good look at Ronald Sims coming in with that strong right hand to Kesilov. I know Kesilov felt that, and Kesilov not only felt it, but Sims felt very good about that.
Sims, as I pointed out, a very stern-looking fighter during the opening ceremonies, and again, he came out wailing in that first round. Again, he's found a home for that right hand, and I know over the Soviet corners, of course, Sims gets his instructions here from Glenn Bailey, the national coach for the USA. In the other corner, they're saying, hey, you've got to get that left hand up, or you're not going to be around long.
Sims has that look of determination on his face, and I like that. You got to have that look and that aggressiveness and that heart. If you don't, you might as well not go out there.
Got to be a 20-19 round in that first round for Sims. Scoring here on the 20-point must system is again now the Soviet starts to come out a little more active here.
Crowd sure appreciated that first round. I know that.
Hollering USA as we went out at the end of the bell, and there you see a good exchange by the Soviet Andrei Kesilov.
Early seconds of round two. Ronald Sims is a little flat-footed in the ring. He's allowing himself to back up into the corner. He's going to get himself in trouble quick. If he doesn't, change his direction and start moving.
You know, Van, in the first round, he was kind of sticking and moving. Right now, he's standing right in front of the Soviet fighter, and he's coming right at him.
Well, I call it heel time. How much time do those heels spend on the canvas? They really should not spend much time on the canvas at all.
That's what he's got to do. Come aggressively back after the Soviet fighter, and he does. Kesilov backed up and now comes back in for a couple of shots. Good action here in round two. These are the middleweights, 165.
One thing you can count on with these Soviet boxers is you can count on them to be very well conditioned. Now, I think our team's well conditioned too, but these guys are noted for always coming out, never dying, always taking it straight through the bout.
You know, Sims has enjoyed that right hand so much he's almost leading with the right, but then coming back with a very weak left hand. Good combination, and you can almost hear that one from Kesilov to the body that time of Sims, who shoves him away, trying to get out of there. And here comes Kesilov back in on top of him again.
Those were three as effective body punches as I've ever seen thrown. They took a toll on Ronald Sims.
Came back with a good combination there. Now they exchange on the inside, and Sims is still peppering away here. Sims with just a slight abrasion on the left side of the nose, no problem.
But Kesilov right now is the one that has the bounce to his legs. Sims, in the meantime, is continuing to backpedal. It looks like he's more on the counter and the defense than he is on the offense and moving forward. There he is in the corner again.
Sims, that is, got a caution from the official for holding behind the net. Kesilov's got him trapped in the corner, won't let him out. Now Sims comes fighting now.
You mentioned that left hand, but Sims used it very effectively just now coming out of that corner.
You'd almost hope he could come out with a left jab and then follow with that good right hand, rather than lead with the right, which he's doing a majority of the time here. There he tried to loop the left hand. Now the Soviet fighter, Kesilov, warned by the Soviet referee to keep the head up. Crowd cheering on almost virtually every shot thrown by Sims now. Closing 20 seconds of round two. Very active fight tonight.
Now we're starting to get into a little bit of pushing and shoving. I imagine fatigue. It's very hot out here this evening. I imagine that's starting to take its toll on both boxers.
Good exchange again on the inside as Sims countered well. Closing seconds of round two. Both fighters took their toll of each other in that second. We'll go to the very climactic third round as we'll continue with USSR boxing from Orlando in a moment.
have a good look at Kesilov moving in on the attack. A right-handed, almost resembles a slap on Ronald Sims. Leans into him, and Sims starts to push off and get out of that situation. Looking for the undercut as well.
Sims, who came out very aggressively in rounds 1 and 2, now will wait the onslaught of the Soviet fighter, 19-year-old Andrei Kesilov. He hails from Moscow. Ronald Sims, that is, in the Air Force station in San Antonio, hometown Washington, D.C. He's in the security police department of the United States Air Force out in San Antonio, and he comes out as they touch gloves, and this is round 3.
Well, they may have touched gloves, but all during that break, I don't know if you could see it, Sims sat there and gave the cold stare to Kesilov and even started to mouth a few things to him. He's gunning for him. He's ready.
So the Cold War now starting to heat up again here in round 3. On our unofficial cards, if you're ready, it's 2019 first round for Sims, Kesilov 2019 second round. That's how close this one is. The 3 judges, of course, have the official numbers, but that's the way we've seen it here at ringside.
This is where the training is going to pay off. If they can put it together and go a full 3-minute round, the one with the greatest amount of heart at this particular point is probably going to be the winner.
Ben, any strategy here in the 3rd round for Sims that you'd like to see?
Well, I think if Sims wants to come out on top of this, he's going to have to stick and move. And he's going to have to keep Kesilov off balance. Right now, he's still in a backward moving direction, and that's not all helpful. Also, neither boxer gains very much when they move in and start to tie up like that. The Soviet official is going to stop them and break that up.
The 3 judges tonight, we notice we have a Soviet, the American, and the neutral judge, Mr. Fraser, as they exchange here in the 3rd round. You see the time, 1:45 to go. Clubbing right hand that time by Kesilov, and Sims now is starting to take some punishment in the 3rd round, as there's a good right hand again thrown by the Soviet, and he's starting to gain confidence now.
The edge at this particular point is definitely swinging to Kesilov. I think in that flurry over there, he found the home on Sims's head and went ahead on the judge's scorecard.
Sims starting to bleed a bit from the left nostril. He exchanges a good left-right combination and got the right hand on the face of Kesilov. There's a combination, the left hand just glancing off the top of the head from Sims.
It's not over. We're moving down to the 1-minute mark, and a lot can happen here in this final minute.
60 seconds to a decision.
Kesilov is a very upright boxer. He still holds his gloves high. Sims, in the meantime, is looking for that undercut.
You know, he really hasn't taken that left glove up as much as we thought he might, particularly with Sims able to throw that right hand in the 1st round. But he's starting to be able to move and get out of the range of it more than blocking it. And he's done a good job at it in the last 2 rounds.
Well, neither one right now has a particularly good defense. I think Kesilov is finding the range on his shots, and Sims is coming back and retaliating. It's still very close.
19-year-old Andrei Kesilov in the red with the white trunks. In the solid blue with the USA on the back is Ronald Sims. Closing 10 seconds to a decision. The middleweights at 165. Good fight tonight.
Could be Kesilov with a nod.
And there's the bell. And again, an even one going to the 3rd and final round in Kesilov, who really found a home for that right and the left. And I can't help but thinking back a little bit, Van, to the body work that Kesilov came with in this 2nd round. You made mention that he threw probably 3 of the best punches you'd seen, and that really maybe kind of set the stage for the downfall of Ronald Sims. But nonetheless, it kind of added up to what happened in the 3rd round, as Kesilov really took the toe, even though Sims was still throwing some good punches.
Let's take a look at this flurry that just took place at the ropes. Kesilov came across with a good left hand. Sims is off balance, and Kesilov is on the prey.
So the decision waited as the 3 judges are collecting the card by the Soviet referee who was refereeing this, the middleweight fight at 165. A good look at Andrei Kesilov and now Ronald Sims. Sims at 25, I made mention, has been fighting since only 1985, married with a couple of sons, and we'd like to hand him a victory here over the Soviets as a little gift tonight, and we'll wait for the decision to come now. So let's go for the official decision on tonight's bout here in the middleweights.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the blue corner, the winner on a 2-1 decision, Ronald Sims, USA Air Force, San Antonio.
Sims, who many thought might not be able to handle the
bout brought to you by Florida National
came out with a flurry in that first round, and a